The only two exercises that will transform your shoulders forever. When we talk about muscles that completely transform the look of a well-developed physique, few are as impactful as the shoulders. But there's a problem. Many people neglect deltoid training, considering them small muscles that don't add much to the overall shape of the body. This is one of the biggest misconceptions in bodybuilding. The shoulders are actually much larger than they appear and play an absolutely fundamental role in building the highly desired V shape, that silhouette where the shoulders are wide and the waist is narrow, creating an aesthetic proportion that represents the ideal of an athletic and imposing physique. However, even those who regularly include shoulders in their training routine often make two crucial mistakes that compromise their results. The first is placing a disproportionate emphasis on the anterior deltoid, also known as the front deltoid. This portion is already heavily stimulated in practically all chest exercises, such as bench press and chest fly. When you do even more exercises focused on this region, such as military press and front raise, you're creating an imbalance in muscle development. What really makes a difference in shoulder width is the lateral deltoid. It's this portion that, when viewed from the front, creates that impression of broad and powerful shoulders. Unfortunately, this is precisely the part most neglected by many practitioners. The second fatal mistake is the obsession with lifting heavy weights. When we talk about shoulders, especially the lateral deltoid, we're dealing with a muscle group that responds better to correct technique than to enormous weights. When trying to lift very heavy dumbbells or bars in shoulder exercises, we invariably end up recruiting other muscles like the trapezius, in addition to using momentum and body swing. This steals tension from the deltoids and transfers the work to other muscle groups, completely compromising the development we seek. The good news is that you don't need dozens of different exercises to build impressive shoulders. In fact, with just two well-executed movements, you can completely transform your muscle development in this region. Exercise 1. Lateral raise with cable. The cable lateral raise is, without a doubt, one of the most efficient exercises for developing the lateral deltoid, the portion that really creates the impression of width in the shoulders. In this context, the cable has a special characteristic to offer: constant tension throughout the entire movement. This constant tension is what makes this exercise so extraordinary. In free weight movements, there are points where resistance decreases due to changes in the lever arm in relation to gravity. With the cable, this limitation is eliminated, as the cable maintains uniform resistance from beginning to end of the range of motion. The lateral deltoid is predominantly composed of slow twitch fibers, which means it responds better to prolonged tension stimuli than to explosions of force. The mechanics of the cable fit perfectly with this physiological need, allowing you to maintain muscle tension for longer during each repetition. Additionally, the cable lateral raise allows for much greater control of the movement. You can isolate the lateral deltoid more efficiently, significantly reducing the recruitment of accessory muscles such as the trapezius. This isolation is crucial for the specific development of the lateral deltoid. Another notable benefit is the reduction of stress on the joints. The cable exercise distributes tension more uniformly throughout the movement, which can decrease the risk of injuries to the shoulder complex, especially the acromyoclavicular joint. The cable lateral raise also allows for a more controlled eccentric contraction, which is where many hypertrophic gains happen. This negative phase of the movement can be executed with much more precision on the cable, maximizing the stimulus for muscle growth. This exercise also promotes better balance between the sides of the body. As each arm works independently, you eliminate the possibility of compensation where the stronger side helps the weaker side, ensuring symmetrical development of the lateral deltoids. To perform the cable lateral raise correctly, start by positioning yourself next to the low pulley with your feet approximately shoulder width apart. Hold the cable handle with the hand opposite to the machine. In this case, if the pulley is on your right, use your left hand. Maintain a slight bend in the elbow throughout the entire movement. Begin with your arm crossing in front of your body, close to the opposite leg. Raise your arm laterally until it is parallel to the ground or slightly above. Lower it in a controlled manner, resisting the pulley as you return to the starting position. Keep your torso stable throughout the exercise, avoiding leaning to the sides. Errors to avoid. Error 1. Using momentum. Body swing is the #1 enemy of this exercise. Stay firm and execute the movement exclusively with the strength of your deltoid. Error 2. Raising your arm too high. It's not necessary to raise your arm much above shoulder level. This can cause compression in the rotator cuff and doesn't bring additional benefits to the lateral deltoid. Error 3. Wrist movement. Keep your wrist in a neutral position throughout the movement. Bending your wrist diverts part of the tension from the deltoid. Error 4. Excessive speed. Performing the movement quickly drastically decreases its effectiveness. Adopt a controlled cadence, with special emphasis on the eccentric phase. Before we continue to the second exercise, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to correct and science-based information is what will make you progress in the long term in the world of bodybuilding. Exercise number 2. Dumbbell lateral raise. The dumbbell lateral raise is one of the most classic and effective exercises for building impressive shoulders, mainly due to its impact on the lateral deltoid. The main differential of the dumbbell lateral raise lies in the freedom of movement it provides. Unlike machines that impose a fixed pattern, dumbbells allow small adjustments in the trajectory of the movement that can be customized to your specific body structure. This mechanics favors a more complete activation of the muscle fibers of the middle deltoid, and when combined with the cable lateral raise, provides complete development of the lateral portion. Electromyographic studies demonstrate that the dumbbell lateral raise generates extremely high activation in the lateral deltoid, especially when performed with a slight rotation of the wrist. This specific technique, where the thumb is slightly lower than the little finger in the final position, maximizes the recruitment of the middle deltoid fibers. Another extraordinary benefit of this exercise is its contribution to strengthening the shoulder stabilizers. Since dumbbells represent a free load, your body needs to activate various stabilizing muscles to maintain control of the movement. This contributes to a healthier and more resistant shoulder joint, in addition to promoting muscle development. The dumbbell lateral raise also allows for very precise progressive overload. You can increase the weight in very small increments, even as little as half a pound or less. This exercise also has the advantage of allowing variations in range and angle as needed. For people with certain joint limitations, it's possible to adjust the maximum height of the elevation or the angle in relation to the body, customizing the movement to maximize results and minimize discomfort. From a practical standpoint, the dumbbell lateral raise doesn't require sophisticated equipment and can be performed in any gym or even at home, making it an accessible tool for shoulder development in practically any training context. Begin by standing with your feet shoulder-width apart, knees slightly bent. Hold a dumbbell in each hand with your arms at your sides. Maintain a slight bend in your elbows throughout the movement. Lean your torso slightly forward, about 5 to 10 degrees. Raise your arms laterally until your elbows are approximately at shoulder height. Think about driving your elbows upward. In the final position, apply the technique of slightly rotating your wrists so that your thumbs point slightly downward, as if you were emptying a bottle of water. Finally, lower the dumbbells in a controlled manner, resisting gravity. Errors to avoid. Error 1. Elevation with the trapezius. The most common error is raising your shoulders during the movement, which transfers the work to the trapezius. Keep your shoulders low and depressed throughout the exercise. Error 2. Using excessive weight. The lateral deltoid is relatively small and doesn't support very high loads. Using weights that are too heavy will inevitably lead to compensations and compromise technique. Error 3. Swinging the body. Any swing or momentum from the trunk drastically reduces tension in the lateral deltoid. Execute the movement strictly with the strength of your shoulders. Error 4. Excessive elbow flexion. Bending your elbows too much transforms the exercise into a kind of curl, shifting the focus from the deltoids to the biceps. Error 5. Incomplete range of motion. Not starting the movement with your arms completely at your sides or not raising to the appropriate height significantly diminishes the benefits of the exercise. Error 6. Incorrect positioning of the wrists. Keeping your wrists in internal rotation, with thumbs up, throughout the movement reduces activation of the lateral deltoid. The water pouring technique at the top maximizes the stimulus. Bonus exercise. Face pull. While the two previous exercises mainly focus on the lateral deltoid, the face pull primarily works the posterior deltoid and the external rotators of the shoulder, completing the three-dimensional development of this musculature. The posterior deltoid is generally the most neglected portion of the three deltoid bundles. Its proper development not only contributes to a more complete and detailed appearance of the shoulders when viewed from the side or from behind, but also balances the forces acting on the shoulder joint, preventing injuries. Besides the posterior deltoid, the face pull intensely activates the external rotators and the muscles of the scapular region, such as the middle and lower trapezius. These muscles are essential for shoulder stabilization and for maintaining proper posture, counteracting the typical hunched forward posture that predominates in our modern life. Studies show that strengthening these posterior muscles is crucial for preventing syndromes such as subacromial impingement and problems related to the rotator cuff, extremely common injuries among bodybuilding practitioners. The face pull functions, therefore, not only as a hypertrophy exercise but as a preventive therapeutic tool. To perform the face pull with maximum efficiency, position a pulley at the height of your face or slightly above. Use a rope with handles at the ends. Hold the rope with your palms facing each other. Step back 1 or 2 steps from the pulley, keeping your arms extended forward. Pull the rope toward your face, separating your hands at the end of the movement. Your elbows should move to the sides and slightly upward, surpassing the line of your shoulders. At the end point, your hands should be close to your ears, with your elbows well open. Consciously contract the posterior muscles of your shoulders for 1 second. Return in a controlled manner to the starting position. Errors you need to avoid in the face pull. Error 1. Pulling to your chin or neck. The correct target is between your nose and forehead. Pulling too low reduces activation of the posterior deltoid. Error 2. Not separating your hands enough. The opening of your hands at the end of the movement is fundamental to adequately activate the external rotators. Error 3. Using excessive weight. As in the previous exercises, using very heavy loads leads to compensations that compromise the benefits of the exercise. Error 4. Omitting external rotation. Many people simply pull the rope without performing the important external rotation of the shoulders that characterizes the complete movement. By specifically focusing on the lateral deltoid with lateral raises and complementing with posterior work through the face pull, you'll be building shoulders that are not only wide and impressive, but also strong and healthy. And always remember, the secret isn't in the quantity of exercises, but in the quality of execution. Always prefer perfect technique and mental connection with the muscle instead of impressive weights. Your shoulders will respond much better to precise work than to uncontrolled movements with excessive loads. If you liked this, and also want to know about the other 6 most common mistakes that most people make that prevent shoulder hypertrophy, we've left a video explaining each of them appearing right now on your screen. Thank you for watching this far, and may God bless you, my friend.